Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing pretty good out there. Everyone's safe and healthy. We're going to do an Arky jig today. It's going to be a 3/8 ounce with a 3/0 VMC 7161 hook, and the color is watermelon, and the pattern we're going to tie is my version of Watermelon Magic. Before I get started here, I just want to give a shout out to SDG Lorecraft. Uh, I stumbled on that site through Tackle Underground, and his channel is really nice. He does a lot with this Arky jig so far, this exact style of Arky jig, the Trocar Arky jig. He does a really nice job with the stuff. His videos are really nice. He does picture in picture. He does a test tank, which I'm still working on. I need a new camera for that, but he has a test tank set up. Uh, really nice editing. It's worth a look. Give him a shot. Help him grow his channel. I'm sure you'll like the content like I did, which is why I'm trying to help him out a little bit by letting you guys know about it. Make it easier to find. So with that said, we're going to get started with this. And the first thing we're going to do is lay our base down uh, with some 210 denier flat wax nylon thread in olive. And as always, we cut that off. Now my Watermelon Magic's a little bit different because I have a tendency to, I want to do things my own way rather than the standard pattern. And my Watermelon Magic is kind of flashy. Not overly flashy, but flashy enough. And the way I do it is I incorporate this. It's going to be 54 strand skirt. So we're going to have a half a tab or 10 strands of this dark watermelon candy. And watermelon candy is it's similar to Watermelon Magic, but it's got, see, I knocked that light down a little bit. It's got green and purple flake to it, and black. And then the Watermelon Magic I'm going to use is a Zoom color. It's Zoom Watermelon Magic, which is very similar in the color, in the I guess you'd say the tint or the darkness, whatever, but it's very similar to the dark watermelon candy that I have here. But with Watermelon Magic, the Zoom Watermelon Magic has some green in it, and it's pretty, like you see at the distance here, it's really reflects the light nice, which is why I like this color. And the reason I didn't go with the Zoom watermelon candy is it's very light. It's much lighter than this even. So that's the reasoning behind my choices. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to take this, and if you're unsure about how much to leave up top here, I always do it by the bottom, by the hook, how much I want to leave behind the hook. In this case, I wanted to go about an inch or so behind, and I know when I tie this in, had a stray strand there. When I tie this in and I fold it over, I'm going to have plenty. I'll move my camera over so you can see it. I'm going to have plenty leftover material, so that way I won't be cutting the skirt short. I'll have it exactly the length I want it, and I ain't going to have to worry about it. And there's no measuring or anything like that. You can make it longer or shorter depending on what you want to do with it. So now you get this half tab of dark watermelon candy. I'm going to try to distribute it all over the place here. I actually broke a strand off. Not real critical. Just cut it off. That will happen from time to time. And it ain't cooperating today. Ain't that a thing? Pull one, 2 strands go. Pull 2, 3 strands go. I just want it to be somewhat even. It doesn't have to be perfect. There. Now, we got that tied in. The next color I'm going to take is this watermelon black flake. And this is going to help even it out a little bit. It's going to be like a bridge from the watermelon candy to the watermelon magic. Just make a loose wrap, work my material that's all the way around. And here's a little tip for you that might help. If you have a problem like getting your material distributed, you can actually take your full tabs, cut them in half, and put half on the top, half on the back, and that's pretty foolproof. I do that sometimes when I have time that I'm setting everything up and trying to get ahead of it. I will cut the tabs in half. Today I didn't because I have some other things to do, so I just wanted to get this out there. Now, our last color is the Zoom Watermelon Magic color. And we'll do the same thing. We're going to make a complete loose wrap, and we're going to work our material around. If you took notice too, when I did that last, when I put the plain watermelon black flake in, I made a few wraps and I did them tight. And the reason why is when I go to distribute this material, I won't move what's underneath, which is what you want to do when you're doing layers. It's not critical when you're doing separate, which would be, and I have patterns. I should start showing some of them where I have like green pumpkin on the back and watermelon on top, or black and blue. Some patterns I have that I don't layer, but I keep separate. So I'll have to do a video on that one day. But for now, just remember, always tie down the one underneath. That way you can push your material around when you tie it over the top, so you don't move anything that you already have tied in. Made that mistake already. So we're going to get this buttoned down pretty well. And we're not done yet. Now, the final thing we're going to do is some flahabou. And this isn't crystal flash. This is regular flahabou. It's wider. It doesn't have that twisted look to it. When I try to tell people that don't understand the flash material, I say, think of flahabou and crystal flash as Christmas tree lights. And your crystal flash is going to be like the small little lights that twinkle. That's the kind of effect you get, where the flahabou is kind of like the big bulbs that don't twinkle. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a lot more flash, a lot brighter flash with the flahabou, whereas you get multiple smaller flashes with the crystal flash. So that's the kind of difference in effect. So now we got to use our flahabou, and we're going to take this, and I'm going to make it even with the skirt and the top. I'm going to make a couple wraps, and I'm going to fold it over so it's all up top. And why I'm doing that, like I have another pattern with green pumpkin that I use flahabou, but what I do is I actually have it on the back, and that pattern I wanted a little bit of flash, not too much. I didn't want it to be prominent, so I basically put the material on the back side of the jig. When I do that with the flash, it kind of falls. The skirt material's folded over, and when the jig hits the bottom, that's when you see the flash. It's very subtle. Where with this, when this material is folded back, the flash is going to be prominent. You're going to see it all the time. So that's what the effect I want with this pattern. I like using this pattern when you have dirty water and the sun's out. And the reason why is you don't get, it's not really visible, but that flash really makes a difference. I've already brought this up through the water where I've only seen the flash, but it does seem to make a difference. It does work, which is why I stuck with it for the longest time. Which before I just used regular watermelon magic, which was watermelon with large silver glitter in it. And then when Zoom came out with this material, I got some and I really liked the Zoom material. So that's how I changed this pattern up from how I did it in years past, if anyone's curious. Sorry for talking so much. My coffee's kicking in and we're just going. And I want you to understand some of the thought process that goes behind these things. I'm going to fold this over as well. And now we could finish wrapping it up. You don't need much more. Our collar's just about done. And that's it. Now we're going to whip finish this. And before I do that, where is my tie? Here it is. I'm going to tie this skirt material up so it doesn't get in the way of my whip finish. And all I do is have to watch the flahabou. I'll take my thread tie here. With all this material, it makes it easy for it to get caught. This is the hardest part when I'm using the flahabou in this manner, because that really sticks out and it kind of gets caught. So I try to make sure it stays put when I'm doing a finish. Even trying to do it by hand is kind of a pain when you have this length of material. But if you take your time, it'll all work out. Here we go. And now we're going to whip finish. Gotta get my flahabou out of there. Almost caught it. And one more time for good measure. Get the flahabou out. And there we go. Now we'll put some head cement on there. I apologize for that. It took a little longer than I expected. It happens. And yes, this is weedless. I'm not going to throw a weed guard on it just yet. And we are done. I'll show you what we have here. I gotta trim everything off. Let me get my big scissors. Stretch this out. Trim. Same thing with the bottom. Make sure I got all my and we are done. That is watermelon magic. That light on the Arky Jig. This flahabou really, when it's in the water, it actually adds some action, but the effect it has working with that glitter that's in that skirt material, really good pattern, easy to tie. Made it look hard trying to get that whip finished, even by hand. Like I said, I have a tough time sometimes with when it comes to with this flahabou when it comes to using that. But it's the extra effort is worth it. It gives a different look in the water. It adds to it. Really good dirty water, sunny conditions. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.